I have a really quick video for you today if you're looking for some last minute present ideas. These would make great additions to a stocking, or you could make a couple of them or a set of all of them and gift them as a single present. You can also do what I do and cut out a matching scrunchie for every single outfit that you've made because you have the fabric, it's a great scrap buster and they look really cute. So I didn't want to try and reinvent the wheel by going through each and every tutorial of how to make these step by step from scratch. I have found these patterns and methods online. I've tried lots out and these are my favorites. There are a couple that haven't worked out quite as well as I would like them, but I think it's because I don't like the style rather than the pattern or the actual end product is bad. So we'll start with my favorite, which is this little scrunchie, and I found this pattern on Threads Monthly, which I will link this and everything else that I mentioned in the description down below, hopefully labelled clearly and neatly so that you guys can find exactly which tutorial you are after. I really liked this pattern because it uses actual hair ties. I just get these ones from Boots, and I do tend to go for the blonde ones because I do make my scrunchies out of every fabric that I make an item of clothing out of, including light fabrics. So black that actually works for my hair colour would and possibly could show through some of those lighter fabrics, so I always go for the blonde ones. The reason I like the hair tie method rather than elastic is because I find that these will secure and hold in my hair for longer, and if I have a base like a ponytail put up in one of these and then put this over the top, I don't worry about this slipping out and falling out during the day, which I have had happen with just elasticated scrunchies. The little tie is optional and I think it's really cute. I like wearing mine to the side. This is a cotton lawn fabric, so it does mean that they kind of stick up. After a little while they will kind of droop down, but it's also really nice to have them at the bottom of your hairstyle, or if you want bunny ears you can put them at the top of your hairstyle. I would also really like to try supersizing these ties. I think I would leave the actual scrunchie part itself as is because it is a little fiddly to get this attached to the hair tie, but I think the actual bow part of it supersized would look really cute, especially in a viscose or a floppier fabric than this cotton lawn. This is my absolute favorite and the one that I make most frequently. This all started life as a zero waste project with this particular fabric, which is a cotton lawn that I got from Stitch Fabrics years ago, so I'm really sorry I can't list to it. Most of the accessories I'm showing you today will work in a variety of fabrics and a variety of woven fabrics. There's only one that needs a knit and we will come to that. This is a really cute double bow and you can just about see that there's two layers to this bow with a little tie. I've sewn it to the barrette that I bought and I got a bunch of them from Amazon. I will link to them down below. What I will say is bear in mind if you are right or left-handed when you are sewing your barrette to your bow. It's only when I try to put it in my hair just now that I've realised that I've made this one left-handed. It goes in this way. It would be much easier for me to put it in this way. Because I've sewn it in rather than super glue it like the tutorial mentions, I can easily unpick this and flip that around. Something else that you could do if you don't like the idea of a barrette like this or metal in your hair, because I know not everybody likes putting metal in their hair, it can cause breakage, is a comb like this. You could very easily sew or super glue the top of the bow or the back of this bow to your French comb, and that would then slide into your hair. I really like these for hairstyling. I find that they will hold my hair into place really well, but I do have very fine hair, so it's not like I've got really heavy hair to corral in one or two of these, but that is another option for a bow like this. Next up is the burrito method for the scrunchie. You can indeed burrito a scrunchie. I don't overly love this one because I've just got 1/4 inch wide elastic in there, and it's probably me getting the length of the elastic wrong. This isn't my favorite. It does mean that you don't have any top stitch, well, you do have a tiny bit of top stitching where the hole is left so that you can thread the elastic through and tie it off. You can slip stitch that so you won't have any visible top stitching, which is something that you do have with this one, but I wasn't going to hand sew this, so I have just top stitched this one as well. I don't dislike this one, it's not my favorite. It's more of a traditional scrunchie, but it's just not my favorite. But if you prefer no visible top stitching, this is a really quick and easy method. Now we're going to move on to two that I thought I was absolutely gonna love, and they are just not for me, and I think it's because of the style, not because of the pattern itself. First we have this twisted knot scrunchie, and I found the pattern for this online. I believe there is a video tutorial as well. There was one point where you do post fabric through the holes, because these are actually two independent pieces of fabric that have been kind of knotted together like that rather than just twisted. I did it wrong the first time, so I think there's a video tutorial for this, but I did just follow the written tutorial. I like this, I just don't like this style on me. I know we all have it, but these parts of my hairline I find are quite exaggerated, so I do prefer to have like a fringe coming down. And try as I would, and again I'm not a hairstylist, but try as I would, I could not get my fringe to look good poking out of this one, so I eventually just put it on so that you could see what it looked like on as is. And yeah, this is not my favorite. It is very pretty and I do like the look of it, but for me it doesn't work. And the very final one I have to show you is the quickest that I have made, but it's also the one that I was the most disappointed with, but again because I think the style's not for me rather than the actual pattern. This is a knit twisted headband and it's really easy to do. It's 2 lines of stitching. It took me all of about 10 minutes from cutting it out to actually sewing it up. However, I did this at 7 inches wide and the pattern recommends 8 plus seam allowance, and I still think this is too wide for me as an accessory to be worn out every day. I do think though this has a place. The reason I'm mentioning this is because there's a couple of ways that I can see myself using this. I'm going to replace my very boring black one of these that I have in the bathroom for when I'm doing my skincare or taking off my makeup. I also think this would be a super quick and easy thing to add to a makeup or toiletries bag. If you were making that as a gift for somebody, this would be a lovely thing to put in it. Another use for this would be if you made it in a French terry or something a little fleecier. This would be great in the place of earmuffs or something to keep your ears warm if you were out and about on a cold and blustery day, because it will grip to your head, it's not going to fly off, and it does really want to sit over your ears, not behind your ears, because of the width. This is something that is super quick to make, doesn't take very much fabric, is a great scrap buster, and it's something that I would say experiment with the width of fabric that you use to find the end result that's going to work for you. But I do really like the look of this and I can see a use for it. It's just not going to be an accessory that gets worn out of the house. As I mentioned, I've put all of the links to the tutorials that I've used in the description down below in chronological order that you've seen them in this video. What do you guys think? Are you a scrunchie fan? They're definitely taking me back to my younger days. There was a period of time that they definitely weren't in fashion and they are trendy again now, but I also find them really pretty and really useful, and I just really like the little pop of something in my hair, especially if it matches my outfit, because I am a matchy kind of a girl. If you have any hair accessory tutorials that you love, please share them in the comments section down below. I'd love to see what sort of things you're making with your scrap pieces of fabric. If you've enjoyed this video, you might want to check out this one here.